Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Cloud Show. As you can see, I am at conference. I'm at Cloud Brew in Belgium, a community conference, which is amazing, has really good speakers and everything. And of course, this is all to thank the sponsors of this event. For example, this company here, Soprasteria, they are here as a sponsor, and we really want to thank them for doing that. Supporting community events is important. Now, I want to talk to the next star on the Cloud Show about another interesting topic. In this case, it's going to be about API governance. Why do we do that, and why is that a thing? And let's ask Massimo. Hey, Massimo, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good, Magnus.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you, standing here at the Cloud Brew conference. You enjoying the conference so far?
Lovely conference, lovely topics, and lovely speakers as well.
And great people, absolutely, yes. And so you also have a session here. Are you talking about APIs and stuff in your session?
Yes, I did have a session today about API governance and Azure API Center as a tool to manage the overall life cycle, full life cycle of APIs.
Right, and so tell us first, like who are you? What do you do? Like you do this, I guess, APIs.
Yeah. So I'm Massimo Crippa. I'm working for a company called Codit. I'm a lead architect over there. Mm-hmm. And I, let's say, since more than 10 years, I'm working in the space of APIs and in general API management, the way we govern API, the way we package API, the way we expose it to our to the outside world.
Okay, brilliant. And so specifically then, we need to apparently govern our APIs. Why are we governing our APIs?
The thing is, we should ask ourselves, what do we want to do with our API? So which kind of developer experience, which kind of customer experience we want to provide to our audience? And it all boils down to quality. So if you want to deliver quality and excellent customer experience, that's good, no worries. To our customers, we need to keep under control governance, which means for example, the uniformity between APIs. So we want to, if we are exposing 3, 4, 10, 20 APIs, we want they all look the same.
You should probably keep your microphone close to your mouth.
Listen to me, it's very good. No worries, man.
All right.
So, so I was saying we have to make them consistent.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that those APIs, they are assessed from a security point of view as well. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure that there is that we can guarantee agility. Agility means we keep under control, for example, how we govern the breaking changes, how do we govern the versioning. And then, for example, compliance. We are in Europe, Belgium, the heart of Europe. You know, GDPR. You
Very important things.
Voilà. Yep. GDPR, an example of compliance that you might have. Mm-hmm. You have compliance at country level. You might have also compliance in industry, healthcare, or things like this. So keeping all of these different dimensions, different angles of APIs in control, that's all about of API governance.
Okay, that's the role of API governance. Okay, so when you need to version something in your APIs and then you have to like manage how that is rolled out, and you have to be able to describe it.
It's when there is a governance word in place, it's all about a procedure.
Right.
So bringing together people, a process, and the technology. Right.
Okay.
So the technology is the tool or the product, if you want, to model the process and bring together, for example, cross-functional people. The governance is not only delivering an API.
Of course.
It's also about bringing these business people together in the same place with technical people and design from the A all to Z. That's the
Everything
only
was
way.
good, and then people.
Yeah, people is one of the key elements in the equation. We cannot do anything about people.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
We love technology, but
we need to support them to be able to make the right calls.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So how do we break this down? Like, what are the elements of governance that you want to?
Yeah. So for sure, one very important thing is discoverability, right?
Right.
You cannot govern something, or you cannot secure something that you don't know that exists.
Of course, you have to know where it is. Yep.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So discovery is extremely important in governance. So you create an API catalog, for example, so you can keep under control every single stage of these assets from the the beginning of design, all the way to the production, and also to the sunset. So when something is not used anymore, you want to retire, you make it first in the first stage of sunset, and all the way. So all the modeling of the life cycle, that's one thing. So if you have a catalog, you can discover, and then you can
life cycle, from discoverability to all the way to sunset, right? Got it.
Yes,
yep.
That's one of the things. So the catalog. Then the second thing is like, once you have a catalog, is like we talked before about the process. How do you model the process? And the process always change company by company. So you are in pharmaceutical, for example, you have some compliance rules that you want to adhere to.
Of course.
So you can design, it's very important to design this process. You can design it on paper. You can use your tool. And today, for example, we talk about Azure API Center. That is one tool to model that process.
Got it.
So the catalog, the process, and the discovery. Once you have the catalog, so you know what are your assets. Once you have a process, the second step, and the third step is the discovery. For example.
All right. Okay. So when somebody needs to become better at that, because I'm assuming that many just kind of publish their API and then that's it. Like it's just out there, right?
Yes. That it boils down to what is called API strategy first. So if you look at API strategy, you have, or business model, if you want, for APIs, you have different approach. The most used in the developer community is the code first. You just got your functional requirement, you just coding. You write your API, and that it goes.
And publish, here we go.
And that it works fine for small companies, but it does not scale. At the end of the day, that does not provide the best experience to your consumers.
Of course not. That makes sense.
The opposite of this is the design first, where you bring together the people, you bring together the rules, and you design outside in. I design not for myself, but I design for you, that you are my audience.
Get the fuck out of here. Move.
Let's cut this, man. People are... So, what? Let's... what we are saying...
Design first. Yes.
Design first is...
Design first, you bring together all the people, yes?
The opposite of this is design first, where you bring together the people to design the outside in. You keep yourself in the shoes of your consumer. You define company rules, and you make sure that you close the feedback loop as soon as possible. You involve as much as possible people from different, let's say, not department, but these different functions to design the way that your product should be for your consumer.
Then you have to know everything up front.
It's a lot of one example is defining API dictionary. So what it means, very data contract designing. So I do 10 APIs. I could call a field one time zip code, the other time zip. But if I take the time and the investment to define my dictionary, my APIs are consistent. This is one simple example, but it gives the idea, if there is an organization, if there is a process in place, if there are multiple controls, static controls, dynamic controls. Sometimes also you need manual controls. So a person that say, okay, I want to categorize this API as sensitive because there are personal information that are flying through or will fly through those APIs.
Right.
Again, it's all to find data categorization, rules, standards, compliance, because at the end, everything will be discoverable, everything will be unified and consistent, and then we will be able to deliver a better customer experience.
That sounds about right. So finally then, for the record, basically, if a company wants to start doing this better, you're talking about API Center. How do you get started if that's what you want to do?
Yeah. So API Center is a tool. Okay. So you can, to start with the tool, it's easy. It's Azure. You go there, you provision the tool, and it is ready to go. But the first step is just to think what you need from a procedure, design a process. So what are my requirements? Okay, there are some very common classic things like dictionary, API style guides. How do I want if I want to use sameware or not, how do I want to manage this kind of versioning, if I have a strategy for breaking changes, etc., etc. Once you have your process and the people involved, then you can use the tool to implement that process and to follow up. So then you are in control because you know what to do, and you have the tool that facilitates you your job.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's, I think, is the perfect end to this episode of The Cloud Show. I want to thank you, Massimo, for being on The Cloud Show with me. It's been good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Magnus. Thank you, everyone.
All right. See you next time on The Cloud Show.